Greetings from sunny Southern California. Although the sun is shining, it is a little chilly today, but that's okay. We are back today to open our books again and share with you how much we spent in the month of March. We did this last month and we may or may not have overspent in February, and I don't know if we did any better this month. We traveled from Phoenix, Arizona over to the Superstition Mountains, back to Phoenix, Arizona, over to Quartzsite, and now here in Southern California. What do you think, babe? Are you ready to open the books again?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Before we get started, I just wanted to say that by the time we had added up everything we spent in the month of February and I had a small mental breakdown, we were already 3/4 of the way through March. So once I knew how much we were spending on groceries, I wanted to try to make better decisions. We were pretty much all the way through March. We had already reached Quartzsite where we were staying for a while. So we're hoping to do better in April and make better decisions. Where now in California, things are not going well. Anyway, that was just my little caveat of trying to convince myself that we're doing all right.
We're doing all right.
But first, coffee.
So we did spend more this past month on coffee than we did in February. But in our defense, we were in Phoenix and we found a vegan coffee shop that we absolutely fell in love with called Homage. And we just had to go there as much as possible. So
yeah,
we know we have a problem.
And it's like a cool way to talk to people and get to know locals. And we got a bunch of restaurant recommendations from that coffee shop. So yes, we're spending a lot, but we get to hang out there. Yeah. It's just a cool way to kind of experience the city, and we love coffee. So that's my reasoning behind it.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. For a total of
$248.84.
Ouch. Up next is diesel, and this actually isn't too bad. We only had to fill up the tank twice because we were staying places a little bit longer. When we went out to the Superstition Mountains, we weren't moving the van, and then when we were in Phoenix, we were kind of hanging out, and we stayed in Quartzsite for a while. So we were able to kind of cut that down. We did spend less on diesel this month because we weren't doing as much traveling. So that brings us to a total of $161.
The next one is our reoccurring bills. There's absolutely nothing we can do to bring these down. Yeah. It's our phone payment, our insurance, our van payment, things like that. So that's just something we have to pay every month.
It's a part of this lifestyle.
Yep. So the total is $877.84. It's a little better.
It's a little better, but it's still obnoxious. Up next is groceries and essentials. I was still shopping at Sprouts at this point and really was stocking up the van with all those vegan goodies. I don't know if we mentioned that in the last video. We are vegan, and so at Sprouts they had a bunch of things that we didn't have access to in Maine, a bunch of specialty products, and they were super expensive. This also includes our essential. We're buying our drinking water right now, which is adding up. Also, when we're out boondocking and we're trying to cut down on water, we are buying recycled paper plates, bowls, and silverware. So that also adds up, but it helps us save on water. So it's a bit of give and take. Again, I'm just trying to reason this dollar amount, and there's really no way out of it.
No.
And this also is stopping at gas stations. When we were in Quartzsite, that was about all we had access to was gas stations. We were getting Gatorades and a few snacks and that kind of stuff.
Snackies.
For a total of $1,107.11, and I'm still not happy about it.
I think we're doing better this month for groceries.
Let's hope.
We'll have to wait and see. Next is experiences, which one of the reasons we went back to Phoenix, we were in Phoenix, we went to the Superstition Mountains, and we came back. We came back for a very specific reason, and that was for a vegan food festival. Little did we know there were actually 2 of them within the same week. One was at night. It was a night market, and one was a brunch social. And of course, we went to both of them.
Sure did.
And of course, we went to multiple food trucks to try new things. That is something we absolutely love doing. Cody's like the chef in the family. He's so good at cooking, and I really like to dabble with like baking a little bit. So anytime we can try something new, we are trying it because we're so excited. So we did splurge a little. However, this was way lower than last month somehow.
Yeah, we didn't really go out to as many restaurants because we were using those vegan fests, which is really cool. Phoenix has the best vegan community, kind of the whole best like vegan scene that we've seen so far. So we did want to go to those, kind of support all the people there. It was great. It was great to be surrounded by like-minded people, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So we had a whopping total of $409.37. Not bad, but still bad.
Yeah. Up next is parking and campground fees. This is obviously where we pay to park. I hate doing it, but sometimes we have to. This month, it was honestly buying permits to stay where we needed to be. To stay in the Superstition Mountains, that is state trust land, so you need to have a permit to stay on that. Quartzsite, you need to buy the 2-week pass to stay there. We could have bought the big one, but that was $180, and we didn't want to stay there for more than 2 weeks, so we had to pay for that one. And then we stayed in a hot spring resort, which was super, super cool, and we had to buy day passes to use the hot springs. So, yeah. About the same as the last month for a total of $101. That's going to be way more in California. We're already double that. And we're like on day 6.
Yikes. Next is Cliff, and if you guys remember from last month, we definitely spent a lot because he had to take a trip to the emergency vet for some belly issues.
He was okay.
He was okay.
Yeah.
And he is okay. And knock on wood, we didn't have to take him this month, so it is like cut in half.
Yeah.
We did have to bring him to get groomed. That is one thing about poodles, is that is something we can't do.
Yeah.
And
They don't shed, but you have to have them groomed all the time.
Yeah. And he's still figuring out like how to go into new places, but that was definitely costly, especially in the middle of Phoenix. And Cliff also found a vendor he really liked at the vegan festival, and I've never seen him react to dog treats like this. And he was just like obsessed with them. So we bought one bag. He was loving them so much, and we were afraid we weren't going to be able to find them anywhere. So we actually bought 3 more bags to freeze for when he runs out of the first one.
Yeah.
So we did spoil him a bit there, which brought that line item up to $116.
Up next is propane and dump stations. We did have to fill up on propane this month. I think that lasted us a little over a month, and that's taken a lot of hot showers. Once we realized how great turning the hot water heater on for our showers was, we haven't gone back. I don't think we've taken a cold shower since. Yeah. So we've definitely been using that. Our 2-burner gas stove also uses that, and we run the fridge on propane all the time. It's just a way lighter load for our batteries, and we're able to use that for other things, using the air fryer, running the AC, running our fan all night. Anyway, and then using dump stations. Pretty much all big gas stations out here have dump stations. They're around $10 to $15. So when we go off-grid, like we did into the Superstition Mountains or anything like that, when we come back into town, we love to dump the tanks. So that brought our total to $52.24.
Up next is the treat yourself category, and this is anything what you would think of treating yourself. So if someone needs a haircut, or if we want to buy a treat for ourselves. So we were lower than last month, but we still did spend quite a bit. We went to the bookstore to get a book about one of our upcoming trips, so that's really exciting, and we were really excited about that, so it's worth it. And then Cody found a hoodie in Quartzsite that he really liked at one of like the Swap Me like booths. And then we had to buy a new sheet at Target. So I don't know if this is technically treat yourself. We didn't need a new sheet. But it's still a luxury to like go into Target and buy a nice sheet. So that brings the total to $107.43.
Not too bad. Last category on our list is van maintenance. This is something that I was super thankful for that we were able to get done in Phoenix. We have driven the van 5,000 miles since we left Maine in the middle of January. So we've officially made it to the West Coast, so we've driven coast to coast, which is super cool. But when we were in Phoenix, there's a shop called the Ben's Shop, and it's a non-dealership, but they know what they're doing, and I felt very secure bringing the van there and getting the oil changed. I also wanted to have the transmission looked at. We mentioned in one of our videos, it felt a little funny on the second to third gear shift, so I really wanted some experts to take a look at it and give me their opinion. So we were able to bring the van in. They fit us right in. It was great to have that looked at and have a little peace of mind. It is expensive. This is a diesel, so it takes a lot of oil, and they use like all Mercedes approved oils. So yeah, expensive if you're used to getting your oil change at like Prompto or something like that. This number may seem extremely high, but for a diesel van, it's pretty much on the mark. So van maintenance for that month was $293.55.
Expensive, but I loved the Ben's Shop. Yeah. And that's it.
That brings us to the end, where we total everything up and then almost puke when we see the amount.
I'm trying to convince Cody to take me out for dinner tonight, and I think this total is going to be the reason why he says no.
Bad day for it. It is less than February. Once we realized how much we spent in February, like I said, we had about a week and a half left in the month of March. We really cut down our spending because we realized how much we were spending. So it is great. These videos are really good for us to be able to look back through the month, tally everything up, and then try to figure out how to make better decisions moving forward. But that brings us to a grand total of
$3,474.38.
That is $674.62 less than we spent in February. I'm still ashamed at my grocery bill, but I am working on being better. I've already gone once and I spent $100 less, so that was a win in my book. But yeah, we're vegan, we like good food, especially me. I like buying good food. And yeah, like we've said before, we saved up for 7 years for this trip. We knew we were going to be spending more than we would if we were just back home hanging out in the tiny house. We're in new cities, we're going to new restaurants, we want to try the coffee shops. Yeah, it's something that we saved up for. We knew it was going to be high. It may seem like a ton of money. It definitely can be done cheaper, but this is how much we spent in the month of March.
Yeah, it's all about creating experiences for us. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Yeah.
So I think I justify it more than Cody does, but I think it's worth it. If we can buy something or spend money on an experience and that's something we can afford, I say do it, because again, this is a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's us being super vulnerable.
Army crawling behind us.
This is Cliffy Boy. We opened up our books, let you guys know how much we spent. Let us know if you guys want to see more of this. The last one didn't get a ton of traction, so we don't know if this is content you guys want to see. So please let us know in the comments if you guys want us to continue this. But until then, we will see you guys in the next one.
Cheers.
Peace.